I was upset at work today. When I got back from, claiming my mother's body and arranging her cremation and all of that, I had asked an assistant manager if it was okay if, I could punch in a little early because it's not unusual for me to arrive at work, sometimes 15 to 30 minutes before my shift. So, and with just the financial hit that I took from my mother's death, I was just trying to accumulate just a little bit of overtime to try and help out, to try and catch up with that. And I didn't even know about the and I knew my car had issues. I've never had a car that's not had issues. But I didn't know it was that bad. And I was, whatever. But I was upset because I'd been given permission by one supervisor, yeah, when you get here, go ahead and punch in, and get started. And then today I got told by a different supervisor, oh no, sorry, you can't have any overtime. You got to leave an hour early today. No, you can't have it. We're over hours, and I don't know how they figure that stuff. I was upset. I was really upset. I was so upset. I cried about it. But it turned out being smaller. That one's only around $450. I'm I'm drowning. I'm drowned in my life right now. But so I was upset to be told I could, and it's pretty much a policy. They don't like to do overtime or give overtime, and I was aware of that, but sometimes it's okay, so I was hoping to try and put a little extra money in my pocket, even though it was not going to be near enough for what I need, and then what not. But because I had to leave work an hour early today, and it put me it's and I did my normal routine when I got off of work, stop to get gas for my hour and 10-minute drive home. The only thing that was, different was I planned to stop at the grocery store on my way home tonight, which I still did. But because I was let go out an hour early, I was on Highway 215 to go home earlier than I normally would have been, and there was a car accident. Um, that I well, that could have been several cars, but an SUV came barreling across the lanes of traffic way ahead of me. I mean, it just from the right somewhere straight across and crashed into um, the concrete barrier that divides the two parts of the highway, the eastbound and the westbound. And people are stopping, throwing on their brakes so that they don't hit this vehicle that's coming across. Um, I nearly rear-ended two different vehicles because I got an older car, and I think my reaction time was a little delayed because I was in shock. What the hell just happened? Um, and when the traffic started moving again, I realized nobody was stopping to check this other vehicle. So when as soon as I could, I pulled off and hopped out of my car and called 911. And there's a car, it hit the concrete barrier. It's uh, uh, and I, as I'm walking to back to the vehicle that crashed, and my first instinct is the people, who's ever in this vehicle, I gotta see if they're okay. But when I get to the vehicle, there's nobody in the front seat. I'm at the front, the passenger side light at the front, and I don't see anybody. I can see the airbag deployed, but I don't see anybody. So I come around the passenger side, and there's nobody in the front seat. There's nobody in the back seat. There's nobody in the vehicle, and I'm going, what the hell? There should be a person. So I come around the back of the car because I couldn't go on the driver's side because it's the driver's side corner of the car is connected to the concrete. So I come around the back, and I come around the back of the car, and there's a person on the ground. It was a woman. She was on the ground, unconscious. And letting the 911 person know she's on the ground. There's a female on the ground. She must have been the one driving the car because there's nobody else in the car. Somebody else does stop, but she didn't see the accident. She saw me standing by this car, and she stopped to see if I was okay. You know, So she was there with me for a little while we were waiting for police. Thank goodness she was there because I didn't want to leave this woman. She started to come to, and she was, of course, panicked. Talking about her children, her three kids, and I don't want to die, and and at one point we finally realized she's partially pinned by the car. Her right hand, her fingers are under the rear tire on the driver's side. I know when the first officer gets there, I think he actually had to climb over the concrete because he was on the other, his vehicle was on the other side, coming from the other direction. And like I said, thank goodness the other woman was there because he when he first stopped, he stopped down by my car. Um, you know, he stopped by the first car he saw with the hazard lights going. Um, and she ran down to wave him, down here, you got to come down to this other vehicle. And you know, they he finally, you know, there's cars and an ambulance and a fire truck. Uh, if I'm a little scatterbrained, I'm sorry. I'm still kind of reeling a bit from it. I, you know, they had to jack up the car in order to free her hand so that they could get her, you know, onto the gurney and into the um, ambulance. I know at one point when she said she's gonna die, I told her, no, you're not. I promise you're not. I don't know how I'm promising anything, because I don't know. But I didn't want her to be panicked, because I know some panicking can make things worse. You panic, you know, your heart beats faster. If she's, you know, I couldn't see other than some road burn. Her hand, you know, it's dark, it's cold, and she, you know, and I remember the dispatcher on the phone asking me is she how she was laying, and I said she's on her side, and they were like, good. I don't know if I accidentally hung up, or I don't know what happened to the call. But people came and well, they were getting her into the ambulance. They asked me to write a statement, and of course I did, and hoped my chicken scratch wasn't too illegible, because I'm writing on a clipboard in the dark, you know, trying to see what I'm writing, and trying to not allow my hand to shake too much. And you know, when the poor woman is worried about her kids, and she said something about being in a fight with her husband, that her husband was beating her, and you know, and you know, and of course I don't, you know what happened before the accident. I just know her vehicle came barreling across the highway like a bat out of hell, and you know, and if that barrier hadn't been there, she probably would have went all the way to the other side. And by the grace of God, you know, she didn't hit anybody else. I remembered them saying something about evidence of gunshots. I was just like, what? I mean, I mean, I thought, I couldn't even, you know, what, um, but they finally, you know, they've got her in the ambulance. They're taking her away. I've given my statements, and an officer offers to escort me back to my car. And as we're walking, and we're walking by her vehicle on the passenger side, I see something I didn't see in my haste to get to whoever had been in the car. There were multiple bullet holes in the passenger side of her car, clustered around the front fender. I mean, it looked like they emptied the clip into the car. This poor woman was fleeing for her life, and I was, out of all the people that saw her crash, because it's a busy Saturday night in Las Vegas, I was the only one who stopped because I saw her crash, and everybody else took off and kept going. if I hadn't been there, I don't know how long she would have laid there. Um, I, because the other woman who stopped because she saw me, she said initially she just thought it was an abandoned car until she saw me. Um, so yeah, I don't like that I didn't get any overtime like I wanted, and I'm getting ahead, but I'm glad I was there to stop and call for help for her. Um, I'm pretty sure she's for the most part going to be all right. Maybe she'll lose a couple of fingers, um, at worst, but better a couple of fingers than your life. Um, I hope her babies are okay, her kids, because she was definitely very worried about them. Um, and it doesn't cure my worries. It doesn't make me feel any better about my life because this doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form. Because I still got a car with an estimate to fix it that technically is 3,000. I don't know if you can see that, $3,972.33. Yeah, boggles my mind. Um, yeah, but it's the only vehicle I got. I have tried unsuccessfully for to buy a newer car. It has not gone well. I actually made an attempt again it's over a week ago now, I think, or about a week ago, and I just ended up leaving that dealership upset. And it wasn't because I didn't get approved at all, but I didn't get approved for the car I went there for. I just went in for a little Nissan 5-speed. Um, that was, of course, used, but they were asking like $8,375. And I was like, I can manage a payment for that. But no, they wouldn't finance me that for that. They came back with an offer to finance a vehicle that was more than twice that price. This vehicle was basically 16,990. No, you might as well say 17,000. Okay, and with a payment that was going to be over $300 a month, with I can't manage. So I ended up leaving with nothing. That's so at this point I'm just like I've got to fix my hoopty, and for now, and work on a newer vehicle later. And that frustrates me because that's for that, not for them to, that was a hard hit to my credit, that check for that. And I didn't get, I'm not getting, I didn't get I didn't leave with a vehicle. But so, yay, I'm home, and I really said way too much. I don't usually make videos this long. So, if you managed to sit through all of that and listen, thank you. And if you can help me out with my GoFundMe, thank you. I have gotten one donation. Thank you, Sarah. So tickled, you know. But friends and family, I'm still here. And I love and I miss all of you, and hang in there because I'm hanging in there, and I'm hoping you're having more peaceful lives than I am. Peace.